With the recent release of the long-awaited Onimusha 2 remaster in May of this year and a brand spanking new Onimusha game coming in 2026, I wanted to take a moment and say all the things that I wanted to say, nay, that needed to be said about the original Onimusha. I wanted to revisit it like an old flame, a relationship that you keep on a pedestal in your mind. And much like a real relationship, retrospection might reveal some of the cracks and, shall we say, more uneven parts of those experiences that upon examination may help us to demystify our hazy memories, look past the weighted veil of nostalgia, and appreciate the entry for what it was and is. We'll look at the good, the bad, the part you can't wait to do again, the part you fucking hate and had long since forgotten, and whatever the hell this is.
It's time for you to fight my greatest creation! Come on, Celeste!
And this goes without saying, but there will be spoilers.
You idiot.
In 1997, Yoshiki Okamoto pitched a game to Capcom that would be Resident Evil, but with ninjas and samurai. He had a vision similar to the stuck in a big haunted house idea of the first Resident Evil, but set in Japan's Sengoku period. This was, of course, a time of constant strife and civil war in Japan, punctuated by its most notable feudal lord, Oda Nobunaga. You simply cannot make a game set in feudal Japan without Nobunaga showing up at least as a background character. It's like making a game in China's famous Three Kingdoms period and not including Lu Bu. You just don't do it. Though it retained the tank controls, fixed 2D backgrounds, and the fucking horrendous voice acting of its mother franchise, Onimusha seems to lean more toward an action orientation than pure survival horror, but still strikes a nice balance of both. We get the general creep factor of Resident Evil, but with swords and samurai, monsters, and magic. Say less, I'm already there. We are Samanosuke Akechi, skilled warrior, qualified ventriloquist,
and save the princess!
And soon to be commander of the elements of lightning, fire, and wind. But true to the starting pace of most games, before you can master the new hotness, you must trudge your way through the early game with the old and busted default katana. And by early game, I really mean about the first 8 screens total before you can grab your first upgrade, the Raizan. Basically, it's a lightning katana with similar range and speed to your previous katana, it's just stronger. Yeah, fucking them up. Which is a relief after your very first encounter ends in a stalemate, since you don't even do enough damage to kill Thing 1 and Thing 2. Try as you might. Now you can try to get a critical strike called Issins against these two, but right now it's just enough to survive the fight. More about Issins later.
Oh, fuck it, let's just do it now.
Combat is simple enough, yet very rewarding. Square up with the nearest enemy by holding R1, which enters you into this sort of duel mode, and press square for a normal slash attack, forward and square for a lunge, and back and square for the stuntiest little kick you ever did see. Pressing triangle unleashes a powerful magic attack corresponding to the element of the currently equipped weapon at the cost of your magic meter. Best to save it for a rainy day. Magic attacks include a succession of quick strikes on a single target, a tornado that can reach enemies above and below you, and a fuck-all fireball arching out in a cone in front of you. As well as attacking, you may also go on the defensive. Back up or strafe around your target to avoid damage, or hold L1 to block incoming strikes. If you can manage to tap the block button just as an enemy's attack lands, congratulations, you've completed a parry and now you're ready to play Dark Souls. Follow up that parry with a time strike and you'll perform an Issin, which will kill your target instantly, making this a crucial gameplay mechanic in tougher situations. Now, if you like to live dangerously, you can perform a riskier Issin by dodging at the last second rather than blocking. You of course leave yourself vulnerable if your timing is even slightly off, but it typically reaps greater rewards than the parry Issin combination, making it the quintessential example of high risk, high reward gameplay. It's important to try to get good at Issins, as they become very handy later on in the game's challenge arenas, where you're often surrounded in a confined space and you're incentivized to go for the instant KO if you can pull it off. If you're worried you won't master the Issin technique, fret not. Sometimes they happen even when you weren't trying. Trust me, I'm just as shocked as you are. And with the exception of a bow and arrow, and a fucking gun, that's about it. That's your crash course in combat.
Everybody got that?
Good. Okay. Let's talk plot now.
Oh no.
Semenosuke is a wayward samurai returning to Inabayama Keep after a long journey abroad, only to discover that his hometown and castle are besieged by demons and its princess put in danger. You're accompanied here by Kaede, Sam's right-hand ninja friend and only other playable character in the game. You'll control her later. And you're both searching desperately for Princess Yuki, as she is in fact Semenosuke's cousin. Immediately identifying that they're smack in the middle of a classic survival horror game, our characters decide to split up. You soon find the princess, but before you can Dudley Do-Right her out of there and save the day, you're swatted away by a big chungus. And then plunged into a comatose fever dream wherein several static PNG images with smoke effects imbue you with the Gauntlet of the Ogres.
With your current power, you are not capable of destroying the demons. We will give you our powers.
And tell you that you'll need it to defeat the demons. In fact, they shouted at you, point blank.
Destroy all the demons!
What do ogres have to do with killing demons? Why does the ogre clan look like floating purple faces in an endless void? Japan, baby! After empowering you with your first magic weapon, you catch up to this jolly fellow again. And he is, man is he a character.
Humans are more tasty when angry.
A cartoon character. If you've been running away from enemies or haven't bothered to familiarize yourself with the basics of combat yet, the game forces you to learn here. And if you've conserved your magic up to this point, you can burn most of his health down with your newly acquired Shiden magic attack. So give him a few good whacks with it. Once you've burned through your magic meter, he'll still be alive. Just dance around his big, stupid, heavy attacks and land a few more hits and we're done.
How could I die? By the hand of a human!
Be quiet, monster.
Got him! Got him!
Oh, and be sure to give his souls a good suck, as you get plenty after a boss fight, and you'll need them to upgrade your weapons and equipment, and even your healing herbs into more powerful medicine. Alright, had enough of his cheesy voice acting? Okay, let's move on.
Dripping blood and what's this? Oh, a liver.
Oh, goddammit. Guildenstern is a recurring nuisance throughout Onimusha, and serves as the Demon King's Chief Science Officer?
I operated on and resurrected the pitiful Nobunaga after he was killed in Okihazuma.
He confesses to resurrecting Nobunaga to serve the Demon Clan, even though nobody asks him.
You sly dog! You got me monologuing! I can't believe it!
And then immediately fucks off, but not before sicking a tentacle monster on you, which you dispatch easily. The music here implies a unique encounter, but really this scene just serves as both a character and enemy introduction. This isn't the last you've seen of Guildenstern spewing out exposition, and Ronaldo is one of the few baddies that's ready for his close-up, and will soon become a regular on the monster roll call. Ooh, speaking of which, it's time for the enemy parade. Let's see what we've got. Annoying ninja dudes, roly-polies, stupid hat guys with bows, lanky samurai, floating eyeball thingy, the hentai monster from Bible Black, you and the giant bull demon and his tougher big brother, bugs, and the sword dude that goes invisible. Anyway, take a look around this room for your new weapon, the big heavy fire sword, aka the Enryu. Higher damage, slower animation, fuck all fireball, enough said. Although it does happily dispatch the roly-polies in one combo, so fucking hooray. Give it a few practice swings and move on. Thus armed, you're able to enter the keep, which is where we'll be spending most of our time in this playthrough. It acts as a central hub and haunted mansion of this world, much like the mansion in the first Resident Evil, or the police station in Resident Evil 2. Over time, we'll uncover new passageways, previously hidden layers, and shortcuts as we brave its inner workings. When we do leave to explore other areas, it's often only to recover a requisite key item we need to progress further into unexplored areas of the keep. So, yeah. Get comfy with it. Immediately inside the keep, you'll find a safe room. All that's missing is a typewriter and, well, music. There, I fixed it. You'll also find a little upside-down man known as the Gatekeeper, who's our link to the Dark Realm. An arena challenge mode we'll eventually want to complete. But you can't access that yet. He just kind of stares at you for now.
You probably should ignore that.
Scene with Kaede and Boy. Oh, there's still new characters to introduce. I almost forgot. This is Boy. Along with Princess Yuki, Boy represents youth and innocence, and the demons intend to use them both in a dark ritualistic sacrifice to empower the newly resurrected Nobunaga. This is all you need to know about them. Moving on. You'll immediately forget about that as you make your way to the infamous trap room. And although the music and quick cutting here would imply inherent danger and a sense of immediacy, it's undercut by the unintentional and also brilliant comedic timing of this exchange.
Samanosuke! What happened? Are you all right?
I seem to be trapped.
Also, there is absolutely no shame or judgment here if you want to alt-tab to an FAQ or a walkthrough video to help you through the water puzzle. Save yourself the grief and feel free to stand on the shoulders of the nerds who've come before you. Just give it a go. And once you're done, the game's hardest puzzle's behind you.
We are safe now. I will go search for clues.
Oh, fucking course you will. In the next save room, put what souls you can into your preferred weapon, save your game, and get ready for Marcellus. Your first boss that's not a bulbous, laughable sock puppet, Marcellus comes at you fast with sword and shield, and is a total badass. Named Marcellus. Now, to be clear, I understand that several of the demons' names are clever literary references to Shakespeare's Hamlet. Marcellus being the guard from Act 1 who utters the immortal phrase, "Something's rotten in the state of Denmark," but that does not stop them from being funny. I look at this guy and I think Death Knight or Demonic Shield Master or Gregory or any damn thing but Marcellus. Do me a favor, this is skipping ahead a bit, but take a look at this thing. What do you think she might be called? What's a cool name for her? Demon Queen? Damselfly of Dread, maybe? Ooh, how about Heart Ripper, right? No, it's Hecuba. Naturally, right? This is a Ronaldo, Guildenstern. Hell, remember this clumsy asshole? His name is Osric. Osric. And aside from these characters generally being sycophants and subservient to Hamlet's leadership, there's really no meaningful connection to the source material. If I'm missing something here, please let me know. Despite my bitching, I do like the idea of using classic literature as a naming convention for your bad guys, but this is a survival horror game and this should not make me chuckle. A Marcellus can be a high-rise window washer. A Marcellus can be arriving soon with your Uber Eats order. Marcellus could even be the suave jazz pianist with a Friday night set at your local tapas restaurant, but Marcellus is not a red-horned hellguard who summons the very power of wind to destroy me. He's just not. Anyway, just keep strafing around his guard and using your magic attacks and quick strikes when you can, and he'll go down soon.
Alright, boys, we are going to clean out every bar this town has got. We're going to booze it until we lose it. Come on, come on.
Suck up his souls and claim your new weapon, the Sheepoo, as your reward. Anyway, open the door, rescue this sacrificial boy, and enjoy another cutscene and FMV sequence, whether you like it or not.
4 years ago, my uncle Mitsuhide pressured me to leave and see the world.
It's kind of nice here to get more of Sammy's backstory, and we learn that because of his travels to foreign lands, he's gained a wider perspective on life, a greater acceptance towards others. He tries to impart these ideas to Boy with a motivational speech, and for some reason, in the middle of it all, he carefully explains his feelings on the last 5 World of Warcraft expansions.
You must help them to understand the absurdity of fighting over such small portions of land on this tiny island.
With your magic balls in hand, you can finally access the castle basement, and everything here, from the visuals to the sound design, is dripping with goo. Fight your way past some Ronaldos and grab the key item, the Purifier Bell, to Why is there always a room like this in every Capcom game? Put the thing you just picked up into the other thing you just encountered, and enter the next room to see a hallway of creepy things suspended in science tubes. Okay, I guess they're not technically science tubes, but this is close enough for the trope to count. In the next room, Samanosuke is incapacitated by an incredibly annoying side character who has so little impact on the plot, of this game at least, that I absolutely refuse to explain or even establish him in this low-effort, high-engagement, risk-free internet product. I mean video. And now it's Kaede's turn in the spotlight. Watch as she uses her heightened ninja senses to not see this double-cross coming a mile away.
What are you doing? Let go of me! Samanosuke?
Kaede controls a bit different, utilizing a longer, faster combo with a fluid succession of attacks, and also being able to leap over enemies' heads to get a follow-up instant kill. Equipped with kunai, she can throw these at enemies to hit them at range, which is helpful to keep more powerful foes at a distance. You'll quickly notice, however, that Kaede cannot absorb or even see demon souls, which makes fighting them pointless when you don't have to. So, yeah, just run past him and move on with your life. Her limited playstyle notwithstanding, I really enjoy playing these Kaede segments, mainly because of her soaring and majestic theme. Listen to that. It may be totally misplaced for what's happening here, but man, is it making me feel something. Then we get to this room and I feel nothing but rage. We just can't go an entire Capcom game without an infuriating fire room. No, not that Capcom fire room. This Capcom fire room.
You.
Finally, you find Princess Yuki again, this time trapped behind bars, and she's just kind of sitting there, while Kaede attempts to pick the lock.
If only I could leave the castle and see the world with Samanosuke. I envy you.
You know, this is a touching character development moment, but I'm pretty sure either one of you could fit through those bars. Turns out Kaede's been stalked by a creepy sex predator this whole time, and after you fight off his advances, you'll be done with Kaede for a while, as she runs off to warn Samanosuke.
Have to tell him.
Truly Shakespearean. Sammy wakes up in a dark cave, but dang, is your armor looking for yeah, Roy! And just in time for one of the game's tougher encounters. Seems our protagonist must face off against himself, and as the saying goes, the only thing worth writing about is the human heart set against an exact demon replica with the same moveset who blocks everything you throw at him like a little bitch. The difficulty in this fight is getting around his guard and having enough healing items to patch up the damage he'll inevitably do to you. Try to wait until he's mid-strike and then quickly throw out your magic attacks, or just spam wildly until you get enough lucky hits in to end the fight. He'll go as quietly as he came, and he'll leave you with plenty to suck up. Moving on to my favorite part of the game, the Dark Realm. This is a challenge arena accessed by a crazy upside down guy that showcases the game's strongest feature, the combat, and hopefully your familiarity with it. You'll descend through 20 floors of increasing difficulty and varying enemy types, with each floor having multiple waves of foes to contend with, all while being accompanied by the absolute height of Ray Kondo's bang and score. You better crank that shit up and get motivated. The first floor starts us off simple enough, with a slow procession of the basic stupid hat demons, and ends with you getting absolutely ass-sucking motherfucker straight from the Satan's sex dungeon. So if you've been practicing your Issins up to this point, now's the time. And after all that, your reward is an ocarina? Okay, what the hell's a Bishi man? Probably just a collectible. Back in the Western Keep, put a thing on a thing and grab yourself a gun. But save all your normal ammo until you've upgraded it into burst ammo, turning the weapon into a fucking shotgun. While it may be fun to instantly blow away all enemies along your path, take my advice and save your ammo for the upcoming boss fight. You'll see why soon. Oh wait, you'll see why now. You'll be tempted to shoot off your load immediately, but you'll be glad when you save it for the most opportune moment. Yep, turns out she was Hekiba all along and flies off with Imamaro.
Beyond this gate lies the demon world. It's over. You will never be able to save Imamaro.
Capcom once again flexes their fetish for rising demonic towers used to access a secretive culture locked deep underground, and therein lies your goal. Your next step, however, will be finding a way to get past the magic flying barrier blocking the entrance. You'll have to backtrack a bit to the Eastern Keep and find a magic barrier destroying arrow to proceed, but not before taking over as Kaede one last time. What's motivating the switch to her this time? Well, you see. A door closes behind Sammy, and some easily defeatable enemy bugs emerge before him. He reacts with the slightest raising of his eyebrows, as this should really be insignificant to him at this point. And that's it. That's really all the justification this game needs to imply that our hero is trapped. Just shut up and play as Kaede already, okay? In this YouTuber's opinion, the Kaede sections were most likely added in purely for variety in visuals and gameplay, and to give the audience something flashy and new to look at in case they got bored. These segments are accompanied by a flimsy pretext each time, and serve the sole purpose of enabling our hero so he can continue the plot.
I knew you would come.
You are so impressive for a mere human.
Back again as Sammy, it's boss time, so strap one on, it's time to jam. If you were conserving your ammo with the matchlock, whip it out and go to town. The upgraded burst rounds are great for hitting multiple targets, and they happily take out the bugs here in one hit. Unfortunately, this battle is better heard, not seen, as the recoil from the matchlock backs you into a corner with an awkwardly placed fixed camera angle. Still, we have some great sonic feedback here that lets you know when Hecuba takes damage, and she'll be dead soon enough. Just keep the pressure on and she'll go out like Cardi B. Just keep the pressure on and she'll go out like Dana Fucks. Kaede decides to ignite the gunpowder with Samanosuke still in the building, but the pair are able to make a daring escape before it's too late. Seeing she's injured, Sammy carries Kaede back to the keep for rest and repose before giving this heroic, inspirational speech.
Princess Yuki, Onimusha, I will save you.
To a wall. This speech really could have been saved in editing, but for some reason, the very next cut is an unfortunate shot of Samanosuke literally staring at a wall with perfect comedic timing. What? Who are you talking to? We're fast approaching the end of the game, so grind if you have to, max out your equipment, and get ready for the final chapter. There's no turning back. I mean, yeah, I guess you could if you're a giant pussy. Anyway, just on the other side of the demon door, Guildenstern twirls his mustache at you, and it's time for Marcellus round 2.
Come, Marcellus!
And the second verse is pretty much the same as the first. He's a bit faster this time, but he drops his shield defense in favor of his dual swords. And that's your moment to hit him with everything you got. So light his ass up. By now you'll have stockpiled enough medicine to weather the storm, and before you know it, he'll go down like Liston. You're now a mere 2 screens away from the final boss, a more significant challenge than Marcellus, and a bit different than anything you've faced so far. But the devs saw fit to bestow upon you a mighty gift, but only if you've earned it. Turns out that ocarina from the Dark Realm wasn't useless after all, and you can use it here to clear the way to an absolute cheat code of a weapon, the Bishamon sword. Simply play a melody you couldn't know on an instrument you practiced 0 times in front of a giant fingerbone door which is so pleased to hear music it curls right up. Then yoink the magic blade from the chest of a giant tortured skeleton without even bothering to ask him.
What?
Exactly. Congratulations, time to fuck shit up. You'll witness firsthand how the Ronaldos are birthed from a demonic cloaca, but it's no never mind to you as you effortlessly cut your way through them with your shiny new sword, which you'll quickly notice has unlimited magic. This will come in handy in the very next room as you face off against the Demon King himself, Fortinbras, and you've just interrupted him before he can make sacrifices at a princess, and Bald Spot. The fight is pretty straightforward as Fortinbras stands completely still and presents a huge target. The challenge here is enduring damage as he spams out several different attacks, including an arcing melee swing, this cool laser eye thing, and tons of magic beams that target the floor and force you to maneuver out of the way. In the interim, don't be shy about using the Bishamon sword and its unlimited magic attacks. Spam the shit out of that triangle button until your thumb's raw. Then sit back and reap the rest of the game's cinematics as your reward.
Kaede, Yume, Maru.
Turns out all Sammy had to do was bleed a little bit on the giant eye orb thing on his gauntlet, and he'd quickly go Super Saiyan 3. Fortinbras is no match for his power level or his fashion level. Ooh. And in a jealous rage, sorta cuts himself on Sam's blade. To finish him off, Sammy then plunges his sword into the soft, squishy center of the Demon King's third eye, which has to be somebody's fetish somewhere. And who fucking raw, the day is saved. With a flash of light, the Demon King is well and truly dead, and our hero finally gets a moment to relax and rest his weary. Oh, of course not. My dude was standing up there waiting the whole time for the sequel to start.
On the other hand, Kaede desperately searched for the missing Samanosuke, but never found him.
We then get a brief Bethesda-style wrap-up of the loose story ends and character subplots before we fade to credits and eventually a score? Whatever. At least the game gives you some closure knowing you did well, and that there are no other game modes to complete or even think about ever again, and we're 100% done. While it's fair to say that other contemporary titles were aping off the success of Resident Evil, and the Dino Crisis was seen as Resident Evil but with dinosaurs, the same criticism leveled against Onimusha would be a little harder to swallow. The premise from the very early stages of the game's development may have been Resident Evil but with samurai, but by the end it transformed into something really unique, and in my opinion it's because of the innovations of the game's combat system. In combat, nearly every decision you make is steeped in the risk versus reward design philosophy. Fight or flight, block or dodge. Which target do I take out first? Do I attempt a risky instant attack or play defensively? Even the choice of when to suck souls versus when to not suck souls. They disappear rather quickly, but going for them leaves you open to attack. It's this constant strategic decision making and combat that makes the gameplay as addictive as it is, and subsequent playthroughs that much more enjoyable since you've developed a better mastery of the controls. And that aspect to me is its strongest appeal. My main gripes are with the hammy voice acting, the awkwardly paced cutscenes, and some of the directing in general, which could be described at best as
Have to tell him.
quirky, but that may very well be the result of poor localization or something lost in translation. If you're curious, the remaster of the game does include an option to switch the spoken and written language to Japanese, and yeah, it does seem like this is the best way to experience the game's dialogue and cutscenes, so go check it out, weebs. So, does it hold up? Does it stand the test of time? Did it avoid the sad fate of slipping into obscurity in spite of its many faults, to be looked back on fondly as a flawed classic? Yes, to all that stuff I just said. A relatively short game, an experienced player could easily complete it in just under 4 hours.
4 hours?
With an achievement to gain if the player can manage to get it down to just 3, as if I didn't have enough incentive already to keep coming back to it. Which I will, again and again as I descend into my autumn years. So I'll make the bold claim here and now that not only is Onimusha Warlords the best entry of its series, but I would dare to rank it just below the bottom on the list of the best Capcom classics, right below Resi 4 and 5. Dragon's Dogma can come too. Again, this is all just my opinion, and if you don't like it, I guess I'll just go talk to a fucking wall.
This race, or not race, but
disconnected. Not like this. Not like this.